This revision series is brought to you by CREORAY.com. Go to www.creoray.com, select class 10, let's revise real numbers and irrational numbers. Let's start. In this revision class, I will not take all the material. Let's pull up a question for you. Screen number 4. Okay. Proof by contradiction. Now this is exam question. You can expect a question on this. The question will be something like this. Prove that root of 2 plus root of 5 is irrational. Now it cannot be proved that something is irrational. So we have to use the concept of proof by contradiction. So what does contradiction mean? You have to assume that this is rational and then finally show, oh, we were wrong. So since we are wrong, it is not rational, it is irrational. How do you do that? See the answer. Let A equals whatever is given in the question. Square root of 2 plus square root of 5. Now here's the important step. Let us assume that this A is rational. So A equals square root of 2 plus square root of 5. Square root of 2 equals A minus square root of 5. Then square it. After squaring we'll get 2 equals, this is a square minus 2a root 5 plus 5. Now bring this root 5 on one side and everything else on another side. You can, if you want, you can do the working on the side. You'll get root 5 equals a square plus 3 divided by 2a. Now here it is. Root 5 we know is irrational number. But this right hand side is a rational number. Why? Because it is of the form P by Q. So P by Q form is a rational number. So what have we got? We have got here this is a rational number equals this is which is a rational number. That has to be wrong. So we write this is contradiction. Our assumption is wrong. Hence root 2 plus root 5 is irrational. Answer complete. Let's take one more question on these lines. Prove that 1 by root 2 is irrational. Again, this is proof by contradiction. Let's assume that 1 by root 2 is rational. This is a contradiction. So A equals 1 by root 2. Then a root 2 equals 1, square both sides, you get 2a square equals 1. Now, note that left hand side is even number because you are multiplying it by 2. 2 into anything is an even number. Whereas right hand side is 1. It's an odd number. How is it going to be possible? This is contradiction. Our assumption is wrong. Hence, 1 by root 2 is irrational number. Answer complete. Let me take one more question on the same lines. Show that 7 plus root 2 is irrational. What is the first step? You have to take an assumption. Let's assume that 7 plus root 2 is rational. And later on, after squaring and doing everything, we'll show that it is irrational. So let us assume 7 plus root 2 is rational. It's a contradiction. Then we can find coprime P and Q such that 7 plus root 2 equals P by Q. This is a general form of P by Q. Now see, either you can square it and proceed, or here I'm using another property P by Q. So this is left to you in the way in which you can go. So here, instead of directly squaring it, I'm taking of the form P by Q. If you want, you can proceed like other question before. Let me just show this. I put it in this way, then square. That is one way. I'm showing you one more way of doing it. So since this is a rational number, what we have assumed, so it is of the form p by q, then square root 2 is p by q minus 7. Now p by q is a rational number, we know it. 7 is also a rational number, we know it. But root 2 is irrational number. Is it rational? No. But that has to happen by this equality. Something is wrong, so this is wrong, as we know root 2 is irrational. So that can happen only when our assumption is wrong. Hence 7 plus root 2 is irrational. Answer complete. Now here, just note that your reasoning is important. One is assumption. The second is either use p by q or square it, and finally show that something is wrong. One side is rational, another side is irrational. This is what you have to write in your answer. So finally you say this is wrong, as one part is irrational, our assumption is wrong, hence whatever given number, it is irrational. That's all. Until next time, happy studying.